All right, guys. So what I did was I put back in a 390 motor. This is different than the 390 motor that was in here. This is just an old one I had laying around because I haven't taken apart the drift truck yet. I did obviously put the new receiver in there with the radio. Now I got to turn it on. And here's the ESC. The only reason I didn't put the 550 in here is because it doesn't physically fit. There's not a lot of space in there, and for where it needs to mount, if I built a new mount for it, I could get it to fit maybe. But you've got this part of your transmission that's over, and then obviously the bottom plate here, and then if it sticks out beyond the side this way, the body doesn't fit on. So we're kind of limited. I might just get a brushless system for this if I can find the right size motor. I want to get the biggest one I can. That'll still fit in here, so it's got to be smaller than a 550. Running this 2200 milliamp hour 2S LiPo, which won't be too much for the ESC. It won't be too much for this. I do want to run this on 3S and see how it holds up, but let's do some testing and see what we've got here. The servo that was in here that you saw in one of my last videos that was giving me fits, I'm sending it back, and this is just a micro servo. So I put this little wooden spacer in here on top to lock it down. There's a really flimsy servo arm horn on there, so I don't know how long that's going to hold up for, but it's enough to turn the car. It's fast, but it's not very strong. And this ESC I don't think is going to live in here. Otherwise I would cut this tab off and glue it, or double-sided tape it to the bottom right there. And it's got a switch mount on the side of it, which conveniently, if you didn't know about these Arma ESCs, that pops out and I could stick this somewhere else. So the fact that it sticks out beyond the body, basically if I clipped this off, that whole thing would fit perfectly right there. But let's see how fast this goes with a bigger ESC and the original sized motor in it. This is first gear, and that's full speed right there. Really slow. What I think is really cool about what I've done so far is the fact that I have full functionality. My lights are back because I've got the 6-channel receiver. I also just switched into second gear. This is second gear. Definitely slower than with that brushless system, but I think it's also even slower than the original motor, because this motor is so worn out. That's all we got. So yeah, stay tuned. I am going to go brushless with this. Let's run at full speed a little bit and see if this motor heats up at all. Because what I might do is just see if it'll run a 3S battery. Alright, motor's right there. Not even warm. I mean, it's not cold anymore, but if your hands are cold, that's not gonna warm you up. So maybe a little 3S battery. I've got one on the way, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it doesn't cook the ESC. I don't think it will, because that came out of an Arma Granite. Like, it can handle a lot of amps. Even when I was overheating the motor on the Arma Granite, it's still, that ESC would barely get warm. Well, that's all I've got for today. Just trying to get more speed out of this thing. I went backwards, actually, with the brush system, but I think either a bigger battery now, or we're going brushless. This is going to be brushless anyway, but I'm interested to see if the bigger system is going to, well, the bigger battery, excuse me, is going to give it that much more power without overheating anything. If you like what you see, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and you'll see me next time.